Straw Hut Media.
Yay! You might have some competition for best hair today, Emile.
I know.
Just saying.
It's like epic. I'm wearing my ring today for today's episode.
Yeah, you forgot
sometimes
it. You
I
forgot
forget
it recently one time.
Well, you know, it happens. What is up, y'all? Welcome to Confess Your Mess. This podcast, we break down listener-submitted secrets, and we're really excited that you're here to join us.
We are. We also want to thank you and encourage you, if you have not done so yet, head over to Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, write us a review. If you leave a review, that means you might make it onto our podcast. You could become our messenger of the week. Also, Spotify allows ratings now as well. You can get 5 stars there. You mean the world to us, but this only exists because of you. And so if you don't give us ratings, you might just disappear into the ether.
Because of you. Who sings
Come
that?
on. Kelly Clarkson, don't even
Okay,
try
I have to
me.
check.
She's a top 5.
Well, Whitney Houston's definitely up there. And our guest is wearing a Whitney Houston shirt.
Our guest is also a certified weirdo. She rose to fame on YouTube years ago. She has 84 gajillion views on YouTube. By the way, I did the math. It's actually very specific. She makes everything from content about, activism and LGBTQ issues to fashion and comedy, all sorts of really fun stuff.
Yeah.
She's expanded into every single social media platform. You know her, you love her. You might know her as Amber's Closet.
Confess your mess.
Welcome to the pod, Amber Whittington.
Whoop whoop.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hello.
Your hair is everything.
Love it.
Thank you.
How long
You
have
two
you?
are everything.
Listen, we
okay.
tried.
Okay.
We tried. Keep 'em coming. How long have you been growing your hair for?
Oh, my hair is a whole process. That's like a whole thing on it, a whole episode in itself.
Oh my
But,
goodness.
Yeah, but you guys were inspiring me. I was listening to the ring situation because I just love that. I look forward to that, being engaged and like having like a ring fight. Like it's
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah,
We let me tell you this. We've been engaged. We've been together, 9.5 years now.
long time.
We're getting married this summer.
Mhm.
We got engaged last Christmas. So we've really enjoyed the fiance season of it all.
Yeah.
We wanted to get engaged before that, and then COVID sort of happened, and then the engagement lasted longer than we planned. But it's really fun to be a fiance. Actually, it's kind of a sexy word.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
I call him husband. Sometimes he's like, no, not yet.
But how do we spell fiance?
Like Beyonce with an F.
Yep.
Obviously.
Of course.
Only
I
way.
love it.
The
Period.
only way. Wait, are you in a relationship right now, Amber?
I am.
Okay, so how long has that been going on?
Just like a couple of months. I think we are just a short of like 5 months.
Okay, so no engagement on the horizon just yet. Still in like that fun dating phase.
No, I see it for sure. Soonish.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. You're the first people I said that to.
There's a little twinkle in your eye.
Exclusive. I love that. No, you are glowing. I've only met you over. So I had you on my radio show, The Morning Beat, with my girl Michaela Gordon, my best friend in the world.
Michaela.
And that's how I came across you initially. So I've heard your voice, and I know you from watching you from afar on your socials. But you're really stunning, and there literally is a glow about you right now.
Yeah.
So
Thank
good
you.
luck.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. I'm not blushing already. We're like 2 minutes in.
Listen, sometimes people come onto this pod, they're like, who are these guys? What am I getting myself into? Then all of a
Right.
sudden, 2 minutes in, they're like revealing their deepest, darkest secrets.
We have trusting faces
love
and
it.
personalities, I think.
Yeah, we do.
We make
Yeah,
people
it's a
feel
comfort.
comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, comfortable
See?
energy. Yeah. No,
See?
that's what I hear about me, and I love it so much.
Aww.
People
No,
get
you-
around me and start like, I'm their therapist all of a sudden. I'm just like, they're like, oh, and I'm just that. I'm like, pour into me. I got you. I'm a pour back.
But
I love
the
it.
worst part, it's great that we all have that energy, but it's not great in certain situations. There was one time I was at a party. It was like a work party, and then we ended up at the Abbey like after the party. This was years ago. And when people are drunk and this girl came up to me, she's like, I just moved here. And then all of a sudden it turned into like wanting life advice. And I'm like, I was nice to her, but I'm like, I'm just trying to have a good time right now. This is not the
Right.
time. So I got trapped.
It's
But-
a double-edged
Oh,
sword.
that
It's-
happens to me every single time I'm outside,
Mhm.
at least 4 or 5 times a night. I'm like, oh, how'd I get into this? And then it's like, you're trying like this so hard to get out. Like,
Right.
at some point they're going to get that they're just like stealing you from your joy right now.
They don't get
No,
it.
they
They
won't.
don't
They
get
probably-
it.
they
It's
probably
alcohol,
won't.
too.
You're also so stunning though, and you're so like big in the game, and there aren't many out there doing what you do the way that you do. Like you have a very distinct look. It's a signature. Your personality is very distinct. So I think people see you, they're like, oh, I'm going to get what I get on YouTube or on Instagram or on TikTok. I'm going to get that person right now, and they're going to be my best friend.
Yeah.
But in reality, sometimes, you can't always give that to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, we're super excited to have you here.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
So I know we kind of sprung this one on you because you're very, very busy and you do a lot of these podcasts, but this one's going to change your life or not. I don't really know. It could go either way. A little bit later on in the podcast, you have a secret or confession that you're going to reveal to us. I know you're still working through that. You're not exactly sure what that is just yet. Hopefully it'll come to you over the course of this podcast, because that's what our listeners tuned in for. They want to know Amber's Closet secrets. What's hiding in Amber's Closet?
What's
is what they want
hiding
to know.
in Amber's Closet?
That's a good title
I
for
love
the episode.
it. That was good.
But this is not that moment. That's at the very end of the podcast. Right now, though, in order to trust you with our listener-submitted secrets, our messenger secrets, we just want to know that you can hang, right? So this is sort of you showing us that you're willing to reveal something small about yourself that might be more of like a vice, a bad habit. Maybe there's an ex that you took a long time to get over that you would maybe call late night. Maybe there's a snack that you know isn't good for you that you still love and you can't let go of it. Maybe you secretly smoke and you don't want anybody to know that. It's a little secret. This is more of a mess, but yes.
I love it. I'm like, a little bit of all that you just said. Let me see. I definitely was not... I didn't make healthy choices with my exes in the past. I think because I'm not like a crazy dater. Like, I haven't had one night stands. That's one right there. I haven't had a one night stand, right?
Oh, wow.
Ever?
I tend to go back to exes when I shouldn't, because it's like that comfortability that's there. But at the same time, I'm just throwing myself into another pit of mess. And I still did it every time just because it was easier than going out and finding somebody new. Because like, it takes a long time for me to get comfortable enough to like get to that sexual part with people.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, let me just call the ex up. But I know I'm being ratchet for that.
That's a good mess, but yes, I like a good mess,
but yes.
I don't think that I'm really a one night stand guy either. I've always said this, and not because I won't put out on the first night, because I'll definitely do that. I have no problem.
Yeah.
But then my problem is, I'm like, I think I'm not a one night stand guy, so then I end up dating that person for 2 or 3 months. I would always do that. I was like, I guess I had sex with you, so I should probably try to date you now.
Yeah.
Because I never was just comfortable just having casual sex before.
Did you think you were going to do that with me?
No, you and I were friends for
We were
like 5
friends
months
first.
before anything happened.
Yeah. But then after you got
that's
it.
a great thing.
No, by the time I got it, I knew I wanted to keep it.
Okay.
So I did.
Okay.
And I also knew, I'm the only person he's ever been on a date
Every
with.
single episode.
I know, but this is, listen, our guests need to know what our listeners know.
You're right.
So when that time finally came and we had talked about it before it happened, I felt an obligation in some way to sort of take care of you and make sure that you were doing that because you were ready for it.
Yeah.
And I wanted you to know that I wasn't going to do that with you until you were absolutely ready. So by that point, then I was like, okay, you're a keeper now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't want to like send you packing.
I locked that down.
You sure did. Wow.
Okay. We have so many fun secrets. So Amber, every single episode we have a theme. So sometimes we do sex secrets or queer related secrets or betrayal, whatever it is. So
now
the
that
theme,
I think about it, this should have been a hair secret one, but I guess not.
Well,
too late.
Willem had a hair secret.
I'm wearing a hat. Who did?
Willem
did have a hair secret.
Okay, but what we're going to get into is, for this episode, it's wild cards. We do wild cards sometimes. So pretty much Frank, our producer who we love, they go through all the submissions and find the best secrets. So we don't see the submissions until I open this page right now. So we're all seeing this for the first time together, and we're going to react. Okay.
We're actually going to hear it for the first time together.
Listen, well, I'm seeing it.
You know how technology works, right?
I'm seeing it, though.
Okay, just making sure.
I guess y'all aren't seeing it. So I get what you're saying. I'm seeing y'all.
I love a good little secret. I love it.
Right? So this first one is anonymous female. New York City.
Okay.
I'm a 29-year-old straight woman and have never masturbated, had sex, just never masturbated. Don't like the feeling of being out of control when I orgasm. I don't know, that might be really weird, but since I don't like that feeling, I just avoid doing it to myself.
Wait, what?
Wait. Because when you orgasm, like your body, she means out of control of her body because your body kind of like convulses and stuff?
Is she not having those types of orgasms with a human, only with herself?
No, she's not doing it with herself.
She's not doing it with herself. She's never masturbated.
I know, but she's had sex.
Yeah.
I'm saying so that
interesting.
orgasm. Yeah, so does that orgasm, is that different when I'm not a woman, but is it different when she's with a partner than just by herself? Because I would feel more vulnerable and out of control with a partner. Like by yourself, that's your time
that's
to practice.
why this doesn't make sense. She's actually really confusing herself and doing it backward, because if she knows that she has out of control orgasms, then that means that she has seen them with a partner because she has not touched herself. Right. So, but the thing is, you touching yourself would let you know what you like, but also help you gain control of that orgasm that you think is out of control. And who's telling you it's out of control? Your partner?
Right.
I have so many follow-up questions.
Right. So many. Okay, because that makes me think. So if your partner's saying, hey, woman, you're wild, you're out of control, right? So then that makes her so embarrassed that she can't go do it in the privacy of her own home alone?
Well, I don't know if it's embarrassment. She just said, since I don't like that feeling.
Oh.
But I guess I'm just a little confused. I wish there was more details on like what feeling you're talking about. Is it like, because I really don't understand. Because like Amber said, this is kind of opposite. Like I feel like you would be more in control of your body if you're actually the person doing it to yourself, as opposed to if you're right.
Okay, so I know as a guy, in the past, if I was going on like a date, or I thought like maybe I didn't want to hook up, I would take care of myself before the date so that I would just like try to be like a little more cool.
Oh,
girls do that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you kind of like you rub one out real quick before you go on the date, and then you can actually spend your evening getting to know the person and listening to them as opposed to thinking about. Yeah. But she's like the opposite.
Yeah.
That's so interesting to me.
I honestly think she has a lot of self-work to do, because I'm saying that because I know that I did. So years ago, my best friend is a sexologist, and years ago we did a video where I was talking with her about me not being able to do that with myself. And it was like a whole therapy session where she was like, well, for me growing up, it was actually freedom. And I found freedom, and I found my sexuality and my sexual being through that. Right. And then so she was like giving me the opposite. We were the opposites, coming together, seeing sides. So then years later, I'm just like, oh, I understand this. Right. It's just finding ways that work for you in that process. Like me physically touching myself was weird, but using like a toy or something made sense. Right. So it's just kind of like finding your way, but also like it really does help you figure out what you like, and then also help you on times where you might not be sexual with someone. I mean,
is this best friend Shan? Is this best friend Shan?
Yeah, we love her.
I've seen you on each other's social media before, so she's fantastic. We saw her on what reality show was
Too Hot to Handle?
Season 1. So good. That's interesting because my best friend is a therapist, not a sex therapist though, but a therapist, and I met her as our pastor at a church that we went to for a time. So that was a whole us sort of coming back to faith moment, and then she became my best friend. She still is. She's in our wedding. Yeah. And it's interesting because one time, I've told the story, but one time I accidentally sent a text message.
Very sexual.
At the time, I was texting 3 people at the same time. I was texting him, his mother, the first lady of her church, and my best friend, the therapist. And I said something like I want to wreck your hole, or something like really graphic. And I was just being stupid and silly and playful. And I immediately sent it, and I looked, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't send it to Emile. So now it's narrowed down to his mother and my best friend, a therapist. Thank God it was a therapist, because I was so humiliated. But to this day, she teases me about it. She always teases me about wrecking the hole or pounding the hole or whatever it was that I said that was inappropriate and ridiculous. And she's like, listen, honey, I've heard everything. I'm a therapist. It's what I do 8 hours a day. I just listen to people's deepest, darkest secrets. She actually has a license to. We do not. So just know that.
But this person.
But I can't imagine having like a sex expert as a best friend. That's
I mean, but she's
cool.
Very straight, and I'm very not.
Yeah.
So we have conversations where we're learning from each other all the time, and kind of giving each other. What's great about our friendship is like our perspectives are very different, but our foundation of things are the same. So like I am not afraid to call her out when I feel like others might, because of her expertise or things like that, and vice versa. So it's really cool because we understand each other at a level that most don't. And so I was just actually talking to my partner about that last night. Like we have either conversations or weekly conversations, or if we see each other, like about everything. And she just loves hearing, because I mean, that's one side that she never explored of herself, was like, you know, having a partner of the same sex. So she's always just like, so what's new? I'm her soap opera, she always says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
No, we love that. And to the person, did they give a name or was it just anonymous?
Anonymous.
Oh, 333. 333. To
That's our
anonymous.
number.
That's our number.
That's our number.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. 33 is my number, and then 333 is like,
Wait,
Yes.
33 is our number.
Yes.
333 is like the number we look for all the time.
oh my God, did you
Whenever-
guys see my email?
No.
Closet 33, baby. It's my basketball number.
Oh,
It's
I
everywhere.
yes.
Wait, I did. I knew this. I actually knew this when I reached out to you. I made a comment about it on your email, I believe. When I initially reached out to you about this, I said something about it. That's wild. Wait, I have to ask, what is your sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Oh.
Virgo. When is that?
September.
Okay, so here's the thing. I ask everybody their sign, and the
In
only
hope
sign
that they say Cancer.
the only sign that I know in the whole world is mine. It's a Cancer. I have no
yeah.
idea what it means.
No clue about
Oh, wait,
astrology
did you
or
see
anything
her
like
face
that.
when she heard I was a Cancer? She goes, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
hella
Yeah,
emotional.
I know.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah." But also very, very loyal.
Very
Yeah.
loyal, but
Just
also
all
very
over the
emotional.
place.
Wait, I'm Aquarius.
Oh, wow.
Your facial expressions alone.
I'm out. Yeah. I
We
love
don't know it.
astrology.
Yeah. We try to
Clearly,
get
you
into
love
it.
us too. I can see it in your eyes.
Right. We try to get into it. We just don't understand. But like, I have friends who talk about angel numbers and astrology and all those things. Whenever I have like questions, I reach out to them.
If
I'm
we
like,
think
what
it
does
can
this
benefit
mean?
us, we notice it all
Right.
the time.
Right.
And also, we do know though that our two signs are very compatible. So that's really all that matters.
Well, I read that they aren't compatible.
Wait,
Anytime,
what?
anytime I looked, it actually says that Aquarius and Cancer aren't compatible. I think we're just a unicorn and made it work. But if
Yeah.
you look anywhere, it says that we're actually not compatible. I don't know where you read that from.
I think I probably just wrote it.
Yeah,
Probably wrote it myself and then read it to myself.
I haven't seen the only Aquarius the only Aquarius friends that like have stayed around in my life are
Oh wow.
two wives that are both Aquarius.
Oh.
They make it work. I mean, they're not easy.
I cannot imagine two of you together.
I'm all over the
You're,
place.
you're a lot.
My mood is like, woo.
Oh, and then my best friend Michaela Gordon, her partner Lisa.
Oh, I love Lisa.
has
Yeah.
Lisa's incredible.
Yeah.
Lisa and I get each other on a soul level and also Lisa and I have the exact same birth date.
Mhm.
We're both
Oh.
July 20th. Mhm.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and we'll talk. And so sometimes if Michaela's if they're having like a tiff or she wants to like be romantic or whatever the occasion might be, she comes to me oftentimes, and we work together every single day. But she comes to me and she's like, "Okay, so what would Lisa think if I did this?" And I'm like, "Well, this is how I would feel." So then she's like, "Okay, got it." And then she'll go.
Is Michaela Aquarius or Capricorn? Because I know our birthdays are close.
She's a Capricorn.
Oh.
She's January 14th.
Okay. I still don't know what that means. But anyway, all right, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come right back to explore more with Amber's Closet.
Yay.
Welcome back to the pod. We've got Amber Whittington on the pod today. You might know her and love her as Amber's Closet. We're getting into some juicy secrets. I think Emile might have another one for us.
I do. Okay, anonymous female Oregon. I've slept with women most of my life, but during the pandemic, I started dating a guy and we're still together. I haven't told some of my more distant friends because it's weird, sort of re-coming out as pan rather than just identifying as lesbian.
This is interesting. We actually had a guest on my talk show, The Morning Beat, recently, and she shared with us that her husband, about, 7 or 8 years into their relationship, I think, came out as trans and fully transitioned. And they went through this sort of interesting, like, getting to know each other all over again, sort of explorative phase in their relationship, because she's like, initially I considered myself sort of bisexual.
Yeah.
And then then I had to sort of face this new reality that this person who I used to view as my female lesbian partner is now my male trans partner. Does that now mean that I am straight? I don't think so. I'm not bisexual anymore. And she now identifies as pansexual. And she's like, that's the conclusion I came to, and it works for our relationship. They're still married. They've got, I think, 3 kids. They live a beautiful life together. But it's really fascinating what sort of things, and I share that story to say that sometimes it's a big moment in your life that can shake that up and make you reevaluate maybe parts of your sexuality that you never really explored before.
Yeah.
And for her, it was her husband transitioning. For this person, it sounds like COVID-19, which was a big one.
Yeah.
You know, sort of people had a lot more time alone with themselves and their thoughts and their feelings.
What do you think, Amber?
I feel very this is a subject that comes up a lot, and I feel very stern in the way that I feel about this because I love everybody being free and like exploring their sexuality. And like, I mostly date people that are pan or bisexual. Like, I love people being able to be free. And then on the other side of things, me as a lesbian, and lesbian to me is a absolute that I feel I struggle with people that want to keep that label, but are willing to kind of explore themselves. So I would urge her to say, yeah, like change up and say, I am pan or I am bisexual or I am fluid, or even don't even label yourself. But I think coming away from the lesbian identity, which to me is an absolute, is necessary in being able to explore yourself and then just coming into herself. Because it is, if she felt like she was a lesbian and then now is dating a male partner, it is a switch up. So it is just kind of her feeling okay about that new decision and just being like, yeah, this is fine. And let me tell my friends about it. You know what I'm saying? She shouldn't have to feel a certain way about that because a lot of people explore their sexuality. But I would say like let's get away from the absolute. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, you know what I
That's
mean?
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
real.
And I think though, I think when I look at this and a lot of the secrets that we have on this podcast, whether it's sexual or just whatever the secret is, when it comes to navigating relationships outside of just an intimate relationship, so friendships, family, whatever, it's so interesting hearing how afraid people are. Like when they're revealing these secrets to like tell people who are close to them or like this person said, distant friends. But I think like you said, you know, for me, coming out as gay was the hard thing. If you already came out as lesbian, because she said she's afraid to like quote unquote re-come out as possibly pan. If you came out already, first of all, it doesn't need to be some huge announcement. I don't think that it even has to. I guess her fear possibly is if she does or if she is dating this guy and then all of a sudden she starts posting about them on social media, she doesn't want to deal with a whole bunch of questions. That's the only thing that I can think of. But then also if you do get questions, oh yeah, I'm pan now. Period. Move on. Like it's not. For me, I don't see it as a huge deal.
It is a
Yeah,
big
it's
deal because
interesting.
it's kind of sad, but in the LGBTQIA plus community, we do give bisexuals a hard time. And they do get the flack of a lot of things. And it's unfortunate. And so that's why I have a lot of videos like repping for them because of the people of the world. And we should just be, you know what I'm saying, empowering them. But I know that a lot of people are scared to be in relationships with bisexuals because they think that they might not fulfill them completely, right? And so people do look at them differently. So if she primarily dated only women and then dates a guy, she might feel like her friends might disown her and might not want her to come to the lesbian night and things like that. Because a lot of my friends have, have that's happened in our groups a lot. Whether it's like transitioning, like you were saying about your friend, or somebody, saying I'm a lesbian but dating a man, they do get afraid that people will judge them around. But
yeah,
it's so sad. And those are the things that we have to work on within our community is being like, why are we making somebody feel uncomfortable when we're supposed to be the safe space for us?
Yeah, I've seen. I know that gay men in particular, like especially cis white gay men, oftentimes have a hard time with the idea of bisexuality or with transness. There's oftentimes a rift between gay men and lesbian women, and then also within lesbian communities, I've seen with some of my friends, like they don't want you to be anything other than lesbian. If you're a lesbian, you're a lesbian,
Right.
and if you're not, go elsewhere and be that thing, which is fine. But also, like there's a struggle in being a lesbian, and I think the community has fought so hard for their seat at the table that they then again, if you're going to have that label, either don't have a label at all but don't take this moniker. Don't call yourself a lesbian if you're not a lesbian.
And that's why I said I'm so stern in it, because oftentimes, I said this in a video that got a lot of negative and positive attention, where I was explaining why somebody can't be a bisexual stud, because stud is actually a term only for lesbians, but not only just for lesbians, but lesbians of color, specifically Black masculine lesbians. And that word has been used all over the place. So when I did a video, I'm like, actually, so lesbian means da 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 da, and stud was actually created for the Black masculine lesbian experience, to differ between the white lesbian experience, because at the time it's very different, but they were not including the Black masculine lesbian experience. So when I said that, people were so offended. And it's just like, wait, it's not for you to get offended. It's just to give you a history lesson. And they were just mad that they were not able to use the term stud. And then it made me realize that lesbians are supposed to accept everything new and different, right? And then they always want to take the small one thing we have. As Black masculine lesbians, we don't really have anything left but dyke, which is harsh for some people to say, and stud. But then it's ripped out of our hands. And as soon as we say, hey, can we keep it? Everybody's screaming at us. So it was really weird, because I'm just like, every time I speak out, I'm like, lesbian, because for me, it's a safe zone where I can say, this is what I am and nobody can touch me. But then, outside of that, but then people get offended if I try to defend that. But it's just how I feel. I just want to be, stern in saying, this is what a lesbian is. Anything outside of that, do you. Just don't say this. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I do. I'm curious to know, because you identify as lesbian, but you made a comment earlier that you prefer to date people who are bisexual or pansexual.
Yeah.
Is there a reason behind that?
No, it's not a preference. It just happens to be.
Got it.
Right.
Got it.
And
Got
I
it.
think it's like and a lot of straight women, more straight women hit on me than anything else. And then it would be bisexual or somewhere in the middle, and then lesbians. I don't know why that happens, but that's just the way that it is. And I don't know. I think with the straight and the bisexual, I think because maybe I'm feminine, masculine, you get a little bit of everything. So I'm like checking a lot of boxes, maybe. I don't know. That's all.
I think that's real. I think first and foremost, it's your energy, because you have a really fantastic, like, lovely soul. You can just tell, even through a camera right now. I've never met you in person yet. We will.
Yeah.
But I can tell you have a really fantastic energy. But you're also stunningly beautiful.
Thank you.
But also I like a masculine edge to you, which is really sexy too. And I'm kind of like, I'm straight straight. Wow.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
God, no, never. I rebuke that.
Ew.
But I'm not gay. I'm not gay as the day is long. And I'm like, Amber, there's something. Okay.
Anonymous male, New York City. I drink, but don't do any other drugs. But my friends think I have because I always pretend to take a drag of a cig or a hit of a joint, and I've even pretended to snort cocaine.
Wait, what?
But I actually just sort of blow it away with my nose air. Feels like I found some sort of peer pressure hack, LOL.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're wasting cocaine?
I guess so. They're just blowing it away.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
I mean,
like, what are you trying to? Well, I guess what are you trying to?
It seems like to me by looking at this, if they're doing that to the point where there's cocaine, they're like blowing it away. Are you afraid of your friends judging you for not doing that?
Yeah,
because,
maybe new friends.
Yeah, if that's the case, if you feel like you can't be around these friends without like doing drugs, then that's a conversation that maybe you should have with
Maybe
yourself.
they're just really fun.
Yeah, like I don't know.
I was gonna say two issues here with yourself, feeling like you can be your authentic self, right, around your friends, and just say no and let that be a thing. If you can't say no to your friends, like you said, you might want to look at your friends. And then on the opposite side, if they're peer pressuring you, yeah, you might need some new friends. But you gotta like, have more confidence in yourself to be like, when I say no, I mean no. I'm cool.
Right.
What?
Here's it. Yeah, we both were servers back in the day, and in LA, and not even just servers. We've had many friends over the years, and still now, who do coke. And anytime I know
booger sugar,
we call it sniff sometimes, whatever we call it, I would be like, oh, you're going to do sniff, and I'm like, cool. I don't judge.
It's not for us.
Go do your thing. But I'm like, that's not for me.
Right.
Yeah.
And when they come back, they never like, oh, Emile, why didn't you do this with me? Now, sometimes some of those friends, like when they come back, they're like super loud and like punching you and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go because I'm not on your level.
Yeah.
However, they never judge me for not doing that.
Right.
Yeah, and also, I've never done cocaine in my entire life, and I never will, just because
I have sinus
my
issues.
allergies are really bad, so I just can't imagine the same exact reason. But I also have no judgment whatsoever. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But it's odd to me that he would go so far as to fake it, because from my perspective, like, it's sort of like Easy A. Right? Remember the movie Easy A with Emma Stone? It's like your favorite film of all time.
Yeah. Well, Bridesmaids is my favorite.
Okay,
but
for the sake of this story, can we just let it be Easy A? Got it.
Top 5.
T twat. But in Easy A, there's a rumor that Emma Stone's character is having sex. She's a big hoe, right? And that's the rumor. And it kind of destroys her life for a while. Well, the rumor is no different than what's real. So if this person is pretending to do all these drugs, everybody thinks this person does drugs. So like the perception already is that you do drugs. Right. So that's the worst thing. And you're trying to avoid that. So why pretend like you're doing it if you're not actually doing it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or they already think you are, so you might as well. Like, pick one.
Yeah.
But like, fake it and not doing it is so odd to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
Once they find out you're blowing the coke away just from the friends who like, do you know that do it?
Because
they're spending, some of those friends are spending lots of money that they did not have to get that. So
listen, I set the precedent early with my friends. Like, they just know that I'm just not interested in it, and they don't care. They'll go off and do their thing. Just set the precedent with your friends. If they accept you, great. If not, just find some other friends. Okay. That's it.
They might even appreciate it too, because you can like find their phone when they lose it and give them a ride home at night. It's great.
Yeah, they're like, you're the friend that we can dependable friend.
Yeah.
All right, one more secret, and then we will have Amber's secret. This is anonymous female LA.
Okay.
We always say when it's LA, we can know this person.
We could know them,
even though there's millions of people in LA.
Or sometimes we're like, ooh, they're from Ohio. I might know them.
Yeah, right.
Because I lived there 20 years ago.
Oh man. Okay. I broke up with my girlfriend over a year ago, and I'm still not over her, but I pretend I am because it's embarrassing that I haven't moved on yet. I feel so fucking stupid. What's wrong with me?
Oh, this one breaks my heart. Don't feel stupid, baby.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, a lot of people go through hard breakups where it's really hard to move on. And that's just the thing. And some people say it can be double the time that you were together. Some people say it's a time and a half. Just go through the process. And the more that you don't allow yourself to like feel those emotions and go through the process, you're just holding yourself back from being able to work through it and to heal yourself to move on. So that's fine. Like, I don't know if it's your friends making you feel guilty or it's you inside, but I just, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all go through that. It took me 3 years to get over this the last breakup. So it's just, it's a thing. And we were together for 3 years. So then I realized, oh, okay. So it took about the same amount of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes time to get over people that you weren't even in love with sometimes. And I think in our relationship, that was an interesting dynamic early on, because I had some exes that maybe I would think about from time to time. And it's not that I wanted to be with them, because I knew I did not want that. But it was like, and even if I ended the relationships, there was still sometimes this feeling of like, could I have done something differently? Or like there was a quality in the relationship that I liked and enjoyed that I'm not getting in my current one. And so maybe I missed that thing. Yeah. And he kind of bore the brunt of some of that at the beginning of our relationship, because I was holding on to some baggage from exes that I didn't even know I was holding on to. And that was my own thing. But I also am the type of person that if I give that part of myself to you and I decide to enter into a relationship with you, I care deeply. And I'm probably going to care deeply for a while. And to be honest, I still care about almost every single one of my exes. And a lot of times straight people don't understand that, right? I think queer people, we're just manufactured a little bit differently, right? We have a deeper level of empathy sometimes and compassion, because we know what it feels like to not have those emotions, given to us. And so I'm still friends or friendly with most of my exes. And one of them, who actually cheated on me with my best friend, is flying out of the country to come to our wedding. Yeah. So I think that it's understandable that you might still, feel something about your ex, even if it doesn't mean you want to be with them, but show yourself some grace and maybe just give yourself the time. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
Please don't feel it broke my heart when you say you feel so fucking stupid. Like, never feel stupid for processing your emotions. And you were in love. I guess the only question I have, and it could just be the wording, because this isn't a voice submission, so I can't figure out the tone, but you said, I broke up with my girlfriend over a year ago. I'm assuming you're just saying that you guys broke up, not like you actually broke up.
Or you actually broke up. And that also, because sometimes I think people think, oh, I did the breaking up, so I should be over it.
That's true.
Or the friends around you think you broke up with her, so you should be fine. She's the one we're worried about. And that's not necessarily the case. Yeah. Because sometimes you break up with somebody, you might love them intensely. You might love them so much that you know that you're not the right person for them. Right? Or you might love them, more than anybody on the entire planet except for just yourself. Yeah. They might be the number 2 person on the whole world, but you still know they're not the right person for you. So it's devastating. Yeah. It's devastating to hurt somebody like that. I I used to, in my 20s and my maybe early 30s, my MO was to sort of self-sabotage until somebody broke up with me because I hate hurting people. It just deeply impacts me. So I would sabotage until they ended things with me.
Yeah.
So they could at least feel like, well, I ended it. And then I would be secretly miserable for a while.
Yeah.
You're so lucky that we've never broken up.
We did break up. We broke up for 8 hours. And when we broke up, we had been dating for
a year and a half.
I don't even. Yeah, probably. And we had moved in together because we were both.
Yeah.
We were both like dead broke at the time.
And I went to that ex's apartment at that time to go talk through it.
He was literally, he was a bartender. I don't know what I was doing at the time. I was probably working in production, and we broke up. And I remember when let me clarify. He broke up with me. And when he broke up with me, it caught me so off guard. And before he went to that ex, because they're friends now, nothing sexual or anything, but before he went to that ex, I was like crying, devastated, talking to him in the kitchen. I specifically, and we'll never forget, I was like, what am I supposed to do? You're my everything. And he's like, and that's the problem. And I was like, oh.
But it was the truth.
He said it so fast, but he was like done.
That was what I had been like grappling with. Like, okay, I love this young man. However, I'm his first. At some point, he's probably going to want to explore. So I'm in my head all the time, and I'm his universe. And I was like, no, that is actually the problem.
But now we're getting married in June, so that's exciting.
And now it's reversed. Now I'm obsessed with you.
Yeah, and I'm like,
you're my everything.
I tolerate you.
Come on.
All right, we're gonna take one last commercial break, and then we'll be back with Amber's secret. What is that accent? Why do I do an accent sometimes?
I have no idea.
Was it British?
No. Welcome back to Confess Your Mess. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. Dun, dun. We've tried to buy her some time. I hope she has a secret for us. Amber's closet is emptying her closet right now. She's digging deep to find one for us. Your life is pretty much an open book, and you share a lot of it on social media. But is there something that maybe your fans, your followers don't know about you? Is there something?
Not much that they don't know.
We're just going to say it.
Yeah.
We're going to say it right now. We're going to put you on the spot. You're going to start to get sweaty palms. This is what happens every single time when we have one of our guests drop by. It is now time for you to
confess your mess.
Oh my gosh. The only secret that I haven't told thus far, because they know the porn that I watched, they know that it took a while for me to be able to masturbate. They know the type of relationship. They know I've been in a throuple and in threesomes. They know everything. I think what I told you at the beginning of the show is literally the only secret that I've kept for myself. I have had so many relationships. Well, not so many, but I've had 2 relationships in the span of like 7.5 years of my life on the internet. And then after the last one, I decided to keep my love life to myself. And so people have been like digging and trying to figure it out or whatever. And this one that I'm currently in, I haven't shared at all. And even just saying that to you guys, like, yes, I'm in a relationship, and yes, I feel this way, is like, that's the secret I have not said.
I kind of love that. The secret is the relationship.
Is your heart racing right now? You look like you're so cool for like the first like 40 minutes, and then all of a sudden right now you're like, oh, like a little schoolgirl. You're all like awkward and adorable.
No, I completely get that. There's definitely, especially because we're open with our relationship. We weren't for the first few years, but then after like year 4, we start to slowly post each other on socials and stuff. And then it wasn't until like year 6 or 7 actually that we started to like kind of explore parts of ourselves on YouTube publicly and like really open up about our relationship. And I will say, once you invite people into your relationship, it's wild. Like the questions they ask, the details they want to know, the entitlement that they feel to you and your relationship and what they think they should be getting that you're not giving them.
I will say though that I think by and large it comes from a good place. I think people's intentions are good and they want to see you happy and they want to see you in a relationship that's healthy. And I'm kind of curious though, because I haven't been at that point for a while where I was like, ooh, I just shared this about myself. What is the fear? You're so public, but you just revealed something pretty big to us and pretty personal, and we appreciate that and we honor and respect that. What's the fear behind that? Is it getting burned in the past? Is it ruining something good
No,
now?
it just felt good to keep something for myself, I guess, because I never did that, being online and being an open book for so many years. But I mean, also one of the reasons are because you'll find out on a show that's coming out later this year. So I also can't
Mm.
reveal, but I already, before
Oh.
it happened and it had something to do with the show, I was already deciding to keep my love life for myself since the last big breakup I had, which is 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago now. So I have been keeping it, but then it happens to be that this will come out. That all will be revealed when a show comes out later on this year.
Listen, you don't have to tell us any more details. You can keep them all a secret, and you'll keep our listeners just waiting with bated breath. We don't need to know a name. We don't need to know a location of where they are. Like nothing. We will keep it all secret. And also, you'll be happy to know that way more people follow you on social media than follow us. So trust me, like a few hundred people might find out, maybe a few thousand. I don't really know, but that's really sweet. And we hope that. Well, I'll speak for myself. I hope that it works out.
Thank
I hope
you.
that it's fantastic and gives you everything you ever hoped and
Thank
dreamed
you.
for.
Was your partner who brought you a drink
Yeah.
earlier? Oh, so we saw a hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so I will tell you
So
guys.
partner knows how to make an old fashioned.
Yes, a reposado one too at that little tequila.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
He likes reposado.
I
Oh
do
yeah,
like
reposado
reposado.
old fashions are my thing. But I will say that look out for a show, a love show that has to do with me later on this year. And then because it is Confess Your Mess, I will say that I feel like I am the nicest and sweetest person, but deep down little things boil up, and I go to boxing to release that. I just have to say, just punching something will make me.
So you're not perfect and sweet
not
all the time. There's some aggression.
Especially
Okay.
not when I'm driving. That's probably what I should have admitted. I am the opposite of me when I'm driving. I have zero patience. I go off on people. It's just like, everybody's like, wow, Amber, I didn't know you had this side. Well, I didn't know everybody couldn't drive either. You know?
Yeah. I can relate to that so hard because I usually, my mom makes fun of me because she's like, when I call her, she's like, are you driving somewhere? Because I make all my phone calls while I'm driving because I'm like, I have free time because there's nothing to do in the car, listen to music. And so I'm on the phone with people and they'll hear that side of me and they're like, whoa,
Yeah.
like, you have a problem.
Well, it's interesting because speaking.
Right.
Listen, you need to put a camera in your vehicle now, and that's your next series on YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Go Instagram Live as you drive through LA traffic. That's a whole
Amber's
show.
road
For real.
rage.
I will say this: there was recently it was International Women's Day, not that long ago, and there was a meme going around, and it was a tire that was all scratched up. The rims were all scratched up, and it said "Happy International Women's Day," which is so problematic and so sexist, right?
Yeah.
Like women are all bad drivers and they mess up your rims. That's basically what that was implying. This guy swapped out his Jaguar, which he was super proud to get a few years ago, for like an updated version a couple of months ago. And 3 out of the 4 tires, the rims were totally scratched up, and it was all because of me. I did all 3 of them.
No, real talk. The first time because I'm so careful, the first time it happened, he was so scared to tell me, and I had to leave the room because I was like, how did you, when he told me like how he did it, I was like, how is
For
it even
real.
possible that you.
And so for like a couple of years, we were like, great, when we turn this into Jaguar, they're going to be like, what happened? Here's the fee. You have to pay for all of this. And they didn't even look.
Yeah, they didn't look.
They just swapped
They just
it out.
wanted the
Didn't
car
care.
back. I was
Dress
like,
for
okay.
nothing.
Yeah. Well, listen,
Right.
we adore you. You are so fun. Thank you so much for making time for us, obviously. And we wish you nothing but the best. We can't wait to find out more about your love life on TV at some point.
And I can't wait to try a reposado old fashioned because I've never tried a reposado old fashioned.
Mm-hmm. And right now, like, where's the most of your focus going to? Because I know you really popped off on YouTube. Like, literally, you have so many like multi-million view videos from YouTube. But what are you focusing on right now? Like, what's your passion?
Right now, I'm just working on a political type show for Reverie, and then I'm also I'm mostly like to post on my Facebook and Instagram mostly. So that's kind of my focus. But I am going to get back on to posting content on YouTube. So I would, if you want to follow me, check me out. Do it on Instagram for sure.
Amber's Closet. I love it. And I also love Reverie. It's a really great
Yeah.
platform now for queer creators and talent and politics.
see,
I did
they-
not know. I know you're
oh,
an
yeah.
activist, but
I'm big in
I know
politics.
that.
I had a show come out that Reverie ended up picking up on their platform, and it did really well. And they have a lot of entities that back them for politics when most don't. Like, for example, I'm signed with Facebook or Meta. They don't want to hear politics because they don't want to feel one way or the other. And so Reverie's like, please. And I'm like, yes, finally, somewhere that I can let this out because, I have political aspirations in the future and we'll see. So, yeah.
Oh.
Wait, I didn't see. We are more similar than I thought. I always said by the age of 40, I'd run for political office, and I'm 41 and I haven't done it just yet. But I respect that, and you've got my vote because this guy knows I love politics all day, every day. But that's for another time. Thank you so much. Best of luck. I can't wait to see what you have coming up.
Wait, AJ, you always forget.
Oh, I always forget this part. This is your part. Sorry, Emile. Do your thing.
Okay. So every episode, we like to ask our guest, from this episode, what is your takeaway of the day?
I think the takeaway of the day is like, I got actual reassurance from a couple of the videos that I'm doing. And one of them I didn't get to touch on, but one of them is self-care that involves masturbation. So I think I got some reassurance from that there are a lot of people that still struggle with that, and that this video is going to hit home for some. So also, I mean, you guys were, goals for me, little inspiration, little fiance vibes. I love it. Thank you so much.
Listen, whenever you're ready to go on a double date, we can be super secretive about it. We don't need to go anywhere.
Post anything.
We'll just go to like the Ivy or something totally low key, or the Abbey maybe, or nobody will see us.
I'm so down.
Yes, we need to make it happen. Love it. Yes. Thank you so much, Amber's Closet. Amber Whittington, for stopping by.
Bye, guys.
We appreciate you.
Confess your mess.
Confess Your Mess is a Straw Hut Media podcast produced by Ryan Tillotson and Frank Driscoll. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and share.
And if you have a secret you want to share, go to confessyourmess.us to submit. Your secret could end up in the show.
Ooh.
Confess.